What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope everyone is healthy and well, and I hope your day was fulfilled with nothing but joy and positivity. Thank you so much for stopping by once again, especially all my new supporters choosing the family. Welcome, welcome. Let's jump right into this because I'm like a big kid, man, when it comes to this type of stuff. I really wanted to go ahead and react to this video. It was not recommended at all. I can't even lie. This one wasn't recommended at all. Strac took this one from his watch later. I had to go ahead and save this from the last video I reacted to. I just seen it. I seen it and I actually pointed it out in that last video that I reacted to when we were talking about the F-35s and the new fighter jets that Canada was actually trying to get rather than the F-35 because the US be trying to scam. You know what I'm saying? Everybody feel free to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications on, follow the Twitch in the description, and check out my other channels as well in the description. Let's jump right into this. Today we'll be reacting to what's the difference between the F-35 and the Gripen fighter jets. There we go. Really excited to learn about these jets. All my aerospace fans, feel free to educate a brother down below in the comment section what it do. Look, US trying to sell 88 F-35s to Canada. 88 F-35s to Canada. If this deal don't go through, their whole defensive deal got to get altered. Now, how's that going to work? You see what I'm saying? Now, Canada actually wants the Gripens. They interested in both jets, but they kind of want more of the Gripen, considering that the F-35 has big maintenance problems. And we have heard that from, I believe it was a pilot. It may have been a pilot, but it was definitely somebody involved with the Swedish military. Please forgive me. And they said that they were actually flying these jets and they were horrible. It's too much money sinking into maintaining these jets. And then he said, yeah, if we continue to buy these jets, give it about a month, we won't have an air force. What? That's a crazy statement to make. And that just shows how much these F-35s just aren't reliable. And how much America, the United States of America, you know what I'm saying? The United States, man. How much we aren't reliable. It's just proving us, it's just proving it even more. Because we already know it wasn't reliable before. Times throughout in history and stuff. Now we trying to sell our old stuff to Sweden, our old jets to Canada. In hopes that we could get some money back because our economy is plummeting. And then we could go ahead and purchase the newer jets. Shit, the states might pop out with the Gripen. Let Canada and Sweden go ahead and continue to purchase these F-35s. I already called it. I'll say Strac didn't call it. We gonna be flying around in these Gripens, newer jets and stuff, and then everybody go, wait a minute, and that's exactly what's gonna happen. That's why I'm saying it's a better deal for Canada to go ahead and get the Gripen, considering that you know the maintenance, it's brand new. I looked at a side-by-side comparison and it seemed that, you know, underneath the Gripen, it had more missiles maybe aligned than what the F-35 had to offer. Now, I could be wrong. I don't know if it dropped stuff out, F-35. Let me know, all my aerospace fans. I'm not going to do too much talking, but I wanted to give you guys a little insight on what I learned and what I've been learning about these jets and the deals, you know, with the defense going on right now, with the Air Force defense specifically. Crazy. It's madness, man. I really wanted to make this video. I'm so excited, guys. I'm like a baby, man.
There's been a lot of noise in the debate over Canada's future fighter jet. Lost somewhere in the spin and posturing over jobs and trade are important.
Wait.
Future fighter jet. Lost somewhere in the spin and posturing over jobs and trade are important questions about what each aircraft can do and why. We asked the experts, 2 test pilots, to give us their take, and a former senior Air Force commander. The F-35 is, hands down, the warplane Canada's Air Force wants.
Is it fun to fly?
Yeah, it's a data-gathering spaceship. It goes 1.6 times the speed of sound. It pulls 9G and it slows down and can spiral around down like you see in an air show. You're absolutely King Kong in an F-35.
Tell me what it's like to fly this plane.
See, and I'm glad I'm watching this video, man, because from my perspective, I wasn't too sure. You know, the way they were bashing it, it seemed that it was just a little unreliable, though. Not saying it wasn't a great jet, but unreliable. So it didn't make it seem like the jet was so amazing. But after seeing that footage, wow. Seriously.
sweet. It really carves through the sky, and it's very tight in the controls, so it feels like you are flying. It doesn't feel like you're in an aircraft that's flying. It feels like you are flying.
The first
Oh,
distinction
wow.
between the two planes. Think of the F-35 as a supercomputer with wings, gathering battlefield information and sharing it securely.
I'm going to make the contrast between you dialing in on your hotel Wi-Fi, open Wi-Fi that can be hacked, versus dialing in on a VPN system where you cannot be hacked. And the comparison is going to be that an F-35 has the equivalent of a VPN network to pass information amongst the F-35s from any nation that flies it, versus the open architecture
The F-35 is
Wait.
equivalent of a VPN network to pass information amongst the F-35s from any nation that flies it, versus the open architecture.
The F-35 is billed as a fifth-generation fighter.
A fifth generation means low observability and sensor fusion, two major characteristics. I can travel in and get undetected entering enemy airspace, and I can see everything around me.
The Gripen is a very different aircraft from nose to tail. Living on Russia's doorstep, Sweden built the Gripen to be tough and flexible.
We
Okay,
are
so
under
Sweden built the Gripen.
threat the second we take off.
Where the F-35 is meant to take the fight to the enemy, the Gripen's strength is defending
Okay. So if Canada don't take the F-35s, then they help Sweden out by buying those.
Take off.
Where the F-35 is meant to take the fight to the enemy, the Gripen's strength is defending home skies.
One thing that's very important for us is to have a possibility to spread out in the woods and work with a very low logistical footprint. So using few personnel and quickly turn around the aircraft and swap engines fast, get new weapons fast, refuel fast, and then get airborne again.
The F-35 requires constant specialized maintenance because of its stealth skin. So, how important is stealth?
It's not perfectly invisible, but essentially in the air, it effectively is as big as a wiffle ball like this, or even smaller.
Even so, both China and Russia have low-frequency radar that can detect stealth aircraft. The Gripen, by contrast, focuses more on jamming enemy radar with state-of-the-art electronic warfare.
So when we
Okay.
started with the Gripen E, we had a choice of which technology to use to ensure that survivability, and we went all in on the EW, which right now seems to have been the right choice.
When Canada's Air Force did its own comparison in 2021, the F-35 won every category hands down, except one. But that was almost 5 years ago. The F-35 software is delivered in blocks. Block 4 is the next iteration. It is supposed to deliver many of the advanced features that Canada and other allies want, the kind of capabilities that make the F-35 a cut above the rest.
Yeah.
However, this U.S. Government Accountability Office report raises questions about whether Lockheed Martin can actually deliver the software.
The new Block 4 major subprogram will have fewer capabilities, will experience schedule delays, and will have unknown costs.
Upgrade that was advertised.
Now, this is going to have a significant impact on the countries that are, due to receive this aircraft, mainly in the area of weapons employment, sensor fusion, self-protection, and networking.
And then there's the issue of availability. How often is each aircraft ready and not in the shop? The F-35's service availability rate has been around 50%. Swedish Air Force data on the availability of the Gripen fleet is classified, but it is acknowledged among Air Force officers to be much higher than the F-35.
The Gripen, on the other hand,
80 to 90? That's what I was saying, because the maintenance is everything. You can have such a great aircraft, but if that maintenance is, hey, it's a beauty on the outside. We understand it has beauty. It's a beauty on the inside. But it doesn't have it as far as maintenance, as far as stability, durability. It don't have that. Whatever you want to say, durability, stability. You can use both. It don't have that. The Gripen is so much better. I've been knew that. But it's oh
Air Force officers to be much higher than the F-35.
wow, that
The
much
Gripen,
higher.
on the other hand, operates roughly about 70 to 80%.
So if you want stealth, intelligence gathering, and a jet for high-end warfare, the F-35 wins. But if you want affordability, agility, and the ability to operate from almost anywhere, the Gripen E wins.
Well, which one are we really worried about? Going to war head up or being stealth and gathering and this and that didn't really sell me right there at the end. I'm not gonna lie. On the Gripen, that did not sell me at all. Besides the fact that 80, 90%, 80, 90% compared to that 50, 60%. Damn.
The agility and the ability to operate from almost anywhere, the Gripen E wins. So if it came down to an old-fashioned aerial dogfight, F-35 versus the Gripen,
Like head up. Like head up. Like head up. I'm thinking about something crazy like oh my gosh. I'm thinking of something crazy like Pearl Harbor. Oh my gosh. Rest in peace, those people, man. Rest in peace, everyone, bro. I'm thinking about that battle. You know, because I seen the movie and stuff. Something so head up, clashing. Battle of Britain. There's so many battles I can start naming. Head up, clashing. F-35. 100% I'm going with it. 100%. If I'm trying to just gather some information, be stealth, we not really fighting this and that, but I still want to be a little nosy. For a little cheaper though, because what's the cost to spend all this money for no reason, especially if we not going to war to really fight, put this thing up in the air. I'm going for this.
who wins?
That's my
It would be a
conclusion.
toss-up, Marie. It depends on the pilot. It's not the airplane, it's the pilot.
Yes, it is. You're damn right. It is the pilot. It's not the jet, it's the pilot. But, no, that is true. That is true. That is true. It is true. You still could definitely go to war with the Gripen, 100%. But you guys feel free to let me know in the comments. Which one are you going with? Which one would be, say you were the head of your country, which one would be the smarter idea? Realistically, like logically thinking, which one is a smarter idea? You know, we're not thinking about the money or anything. We're thinking about the lives of the pilots, the soldiers, you know? They got to make it back to their families. We want to be able to finish the battle so we can win the war. We don't want to lose soldiers in the battles, man, because these jets can't hold up to their capabilities, you know? So please let me know in the comments. Share your honest thoughts and opinions. Feel free to educate me some more on these two beautiful jets, man. Look, like I said, I don't know it all. This really interested me, really fascinated me, and I just want to continue to learn more about it and to see how this deal goes, man. Is Canada actually gonna buy all 88 F-35s? You know, I didn't see no videos at all or anything or no clips last video. But after this video, seeing how that F-35 performs, like in the heat of the moment, oh, sold me. It sold me. But when you start talking about stealth and then the other countries can detect the what's it called? The Gripen on the radar and stuff, a lot of countries have trouble doing that because the signals can't reach it. You can't even hear them. You can't see them. You can't pinpoint them. Then that's better. Like I said, if you want to be nosy and spy. So I guess they both have their they both have their perks. They both have their ups and downs. But let's see how this goes. Everyone feel free to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications on, and feel free to follow the Twitch and check out my other channels in the description down below. Thank you so much for joining me today to learn and react to what's the difference between F-35 and Gripen fighter jets. This was amazing, man. Let me know if y'all find some more videos like this. Spam my comment section with more videos for us to react to on a daily basis.